So here we have Timeskip Boruto, and the first thing we can notice about his appearance is his new dojutsu, the Jogan, and the scar on that same eye. Today we're going to be discussing the best theories which can explain how and who gave Boruto his scar. In the end of Boruto chapter 66, we hear Code saying that he needs to get his limiters removed because he is too weak with them. Then Ida asks, how will you get these limiters removed? Then we are flipped to a panel of Shikamaru. This most likely means that Code placed his claw mark on Shikamaru while he was holding him hostage. This is how Code plans to invade the village. I know what you're thinking. It's impossible for Code to invade the village without anybody knowing. But remember, Code has a karma, which means he has the same ability to max his presence or hide it just like Kawaki did. This was evident in chapter 62, where the Leaf Sentry Force was unable to find Code and Kawaki because they maxed their presence by erasing their chakra signal, just like Momoshiki did to invade the village. Code would do something similar when invading the village, as it would allow him to walk in the village without anyone knowing. And just like we saw in chapter 66, Code can just pull out anyone he wants out of nowhere to come to his aid, like he did with Daemon. And if Daemon gets introduced to this fight, it will become very difficult to win as they know little to nothing about his abilities. And this will most likely result in a massive loss by either a death or a large amount of damage to the village. And in this fight, Boruto will most likely gain his scar, leading to the time skip. If this arc is to lead to the time skip, the main characters need to have a reason to train or get stronger. This most likely means that they will end up losing the fight versus Code and Daemon. This follows the same format that Naruto took before getting to the time skip. In the Sasuke retrieval arc, although Naruto got stronger, he wasn't strong enough to bring Sasuke back to the village. In addition, when Naruto and Sasuke fought, Naruto ended up losing. This arc forced all the central characters in the series to desire to get stronger. Naruto wanted to get stronger so he could bring Sasuke back to the village. Sasuke wanted to get stronger so he could avenge his clan by killing Itachi. All the major characters in the series had their reasons to get stronger, which forced the time skip to occur so they could train. So what does that have to do with Boruto? Just like the central characters in Naruto had to lose something important when Sasuke left the village, so will the Boruto generation lose something important before the time skip. In the beginning, Code needed to keep Shikamaru alive in order to sneak into the village, which is why he didn't die in chapter 66. But this time, Code has no reason to keep him alive. Another possibility is Code takes Shikamaru as hostage again, and at this point, Shikamaru is just getting passed around and he can't do anything about it. Then, Code uses Shikamaru to blackmail Amado to remove his limiters or threaten to kill Amado, since we have never seen Amado fight. This is when Kawaki and Boruto will appear, who are the only ones who can sense Code when he erases his chakra signal. Then they will start fighting versus Code. In the beginning of the fight, it will be mostly even. However, Boruto will awaken his Jogan, and now that he is fully Otsutsuki, he'll be able to keep it and control it. This is when they will have the advantage in the fight, but just like what happened to Kawaki in chapter 66, Code will do the same by pulling Daemon out of the fight out of nowhere to come and assist him. At that moment, the fight will take a completely different shift as Daemon's abilities are broken. Daemon's abilities are very different from most of the jutsus introduced in the anime. Although he has a childlike frame and body type, he should not be underestimated, mostly after what he did to Kawaki. Daemon is able to sense any negative intention or attacks that are fired at him and reflect them back to his enemies. Daemon can reflect ninjutsu, which can be seen when he reflected Kawaki's attacks, but he can also reflect physical attacks, which can be seen when he defeated and reflected the attacks of the guards that tried to defeat him. This fact sets up how I believe Boruto will get the scar in the fight. So when Daemon gets introduced to the fight, Boruto will most likely believe that Daemon can only reflect ninjutsu, as he is unaware of Daemon's other abilities. In addition, Ida is probably aware of the fact that the Jogan exists, so when she sees the Jogan, she will tell Code and Daemon to work together to get rid of it. Then, Boruto will go in to try and destroy Daemon's eye, which is most likely where he believes Daemon gets his abilities from, but when he does that, his attack will be reflected, leading to his scar. So now there are two ways in which Code and Daemon will be forced to leave the village. The first option is that Daemon falls asleep or loses the desire to fight. Remember, in the manga, Daemon's personality is illustrated and promoted to be more childlike, similar to a character like Majin Buu in Dragon Ball Z. And haven't you realized something? Daemon is always sleeping. Right after using his abilities to reflect the guard's attack and kill them, he went directly to sleep. And the manga has made it very clear that Daemon sleeps a lot, as throughout most of the fight that Code had, Daemon was sleeping. I believe that they did this on purpose to hint at one of his weaknesses, because a character as strong as Daemon cannot be without weaknesses. In addition, Daemon is shown to be able to reflect both physical and ninjutsu based attacks, but can he reflect genjutsu based attacks? Let me know what you think in the comment section, because if he can't, this will most likely hint to Sarah being an important fighter in the next fight versus Daemon. Now the second option is that Momoshiki takes control of Boruto, as even though he is unable to revive himself in Boruto, he can still possess him. Because even when Boruto was 80% Otsutsuki, he was still able to possess him. This is still the case, as Boruto still has 80% of Momoshiki's genes, which allows Momoshiki to possess him just like he has done in the past. When Momoshiki takes control of Boruto and is able to use the Jogan's abilities, the fight will be very different, as Momoshiki is definitely a better fighter than Boruto, and when you add the Jogan on top of that, it is a completely different story. Now this concludes my portion of the theory. So now how does the community feel about Boruto getting his scar? Big Brother has the perfect explanation about why Momoshiki can still take control and possess Boruto's body. He says, I think Momoshiki, though unable to revive anymore, can still take over his body. There will be a point where Boruto remains as Boruto, but Momoshiki takes complete control of Boruto's body, leaving Boruto's consciousness trapped inside. He concludes by saying, just like Boruto getting rid of the horn brought him back after the fight with Ishiki, Sasuke or someone else may slash the Jogan to get rid of Momoshiki's control. Furthermore, my friend Boruto Pix explains perfectly why this is going to happen. Boruto will go on a rampage again and will try to hurt his family and loved ones. Like usual, Boroshiki's Byakugan will be on the left eye, and Sasuke will realize it and slash it to prevent him from using it and to bring him back to his usual form. The series consistently shows the rivalry between Momoshiki and Sasuke. Since Sasuke stabbed Momoshiki's Rinnegan in the anime, Momoshiki got his revenge by stabbing his eye, and now Sasuke will be getting his revenge by slashing Boruto's eye. Now, a different theory from Gabriel, which says that Momoshiki was referring to Boruto's Jogan when he was talking about his destiny and fate. So when he fully awakens his Jogan, he will try to stab it out to save the people around him, which will probably happen during his training. I understand where he is coming from with this theory, but an easier way to do it would just be to pluck out the Jogan instead of slashing a whole portion of his face. And I don't believe that Momoshiki was talking about the Jogan, as the Jogan is white and he was talking about Boruto's blue eyes, which symbolizes something completely different. Armani, however, believes that Boruto is going to activate his Jogan in the fight against Code, then Code is going to catch him off guard and slash it. I definitely agree with this theory, as it matches the theory I was talking about, but I would prefer Daemon to be the one to slash Boruto's eye, as it will get him more involved in the story. But these theories answer how and why Boruto got his scar. But now the question is, why are Boruto and Kawaki fighting? Watch this video right here while I explain exactly why they are fighting.